Wow. I've been up here a lot. I've never seen a crowd like this. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to... Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That is to say, in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father. And by the way, that is who the world ignorantly calls God, whose name in the Hebrew means He is, Bahashem, which means in the name in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh Shai, which also means He is our salvation in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. And that is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites. Which brings us to our discussion / topic this early afternoon. Okay? Because what you saw together was 2 clips to convey a message, all right? And the message is, we're not going to take it anymore, all right? That's from a song, I believe, back in the 80s by a group by the name of Twisted Sister. But this is the Twisted Brother, all right? And these Edomites, they're not going to take it anymore, all right? For too long, they laid down and allowed you tribes to stomp all over them, all right? Now they're getting ready to raise up with this new act that Trump enacted on Monday, called what? Section 740 of the D.C. Home Rule Act, okay? Stating that you hooligans, you gang members, you homeless people are degrading the capital, D.C., all right? And in essence, his whole land, because D.C. is the state capital, and if that goes, it's not too much longer before the whole country goes. So in his attempt to quote-unquote stop this from happening, he has deployed National Guards in the state capital, and if needed, military, all right? Now, the first clip you saw was, to me, would look like 2 Jakes, more than likely YNs, young ninjas, homeless, trying to stop a cop or an officer from taking their shopping cart or what have you, because now Trump wants to get the homeless people off the streets, okay? So the police are doing what? Their investigations, all right? And if I'm not mistaken, or at least I believe here in the state of Florida, it's a misdemeanor, or it could be a felony if you steal a shopping cart from a public, not a public, but if you steal a shopping cart from a store or a corporation such as Walmart, Target, Home Depot, so on and so forth. But what are the people to do, man? All right. When there's no jobs, when you can't get any type of work, when you got to struggle out here on these streets, man. All right. See, but hey, this Edomite could care less, man. Okay. As it says, he speak as a dragon, man. He's putting these legislations, these laws into effect for when he gets ready to make his move. Guess what? There won't be no resistance because everything is already on the books. All right. And if you resist, hey, as the song goes, we're not going to take it anymore. You see, because Jake is rising up and riling up, as it says, as an old lion who will rile them up. But see, the 2/3 of our people, they don't have the truth backing them. Okay. So this man is getting ready to come down with that great wrath, man. All right. And you seen the Edomite cop trying to square up with Jake, man. And Jake just picked his ass up and slammed him on the ground. And so much that bystanders or people that was driving out the car, just so happened to be a couple of more Edomites jumped out to try to even the odds, man. Showing you that these damn Edomites, man, they fed up with you YNs, man. All right. They are fed up with you YNs, man. And they gonna team up together, man. All right. To a certain degree. And then they're gonna have to enact that martial law, man. So Jake, hey, we told you, man, repent. This damn devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. You saw it in the first video, man. All right. You saw it from 1, the police, and 2, what you call citizens arrest, man. These Edomites, man, they gonna fight for their country, man. All right. And they got the right man in charge to lead the charge, Donald J. Trump, man. All right. Because he gonna set shit off in here. He gonna set things off. All right. That's why he put into place this Section 740 DC Home Rule Act. Now let's look into this a little bit because I wanted to see what was he doing. All right. And if I'm not mistaken, I read this article. He has 48 hours to get things under control, or else if not, then he has to take the next step or the next measure. So it says President Trump on Monday, which was yesterday, because today is Tuesday, announced he was taking federal control of DC Police Department and deploying the National Guard in the city in an attempt to fight crime, man. All right. So guess what? Hey, as Yahweh Shai told us, man, when you see the abomination of desolation in the place where it ought not to be, let them who take heed flee into the mountains, man. All right. Well, guess what? You, Jake, man, y'all ain't gonna have nowhere to flee at when the abomination of desolation, because back then it was 70 AD, but it's coming back again. As it says in the scriptures, Ecclesiastes 1:9, there's no new thing under the sun, man. All right, this is that same Roman Empire, but it's just revived, okay? And he's coming back, all right? Because why? The people are oppressed, man. They don't have nowhere to go. They just out here trying to survive on these streets. But see, this damn devil, okay, he don't want you on these streets, man. All right, he wants you herd into a digital prison, okay, where if you want to get off the streets, guess what? Come take this microchip and we're going to put you in some type of facility where you can get the essentials, food, water, so on and so forth. 2nd Ezra 16 and I believe 66 or 68 feed you things offered to idols, okay? So this devil is going to come down with a great wrath, man. He wants his capital / his city / his country cleaned up from all you hoodlums. All right, vandalizing, out here wearing your pants below your ass, your gang banging culture, you're homeless, so on and so forth, man. All right, because what your capital does says a lot about your current and past rulership. These presidents, man. All right. And now Trump, you know, as we're going to read in this article, amongst that person getting unalive in DC, which may have been staged or whatever, if it's real or not, it allowed this to happen. All right. It's now saying we got to take back our city. We got to start with our capital, our state capital. And more than likely, he's going to venture off into other parts of the land, or should I say the country. So it says, our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, robbing mobs of wild youth. Those are your YNs, your young ninjas, okay? That's what the clip was in the first clip that was showed. Those wild youth, those YNs. Drugged out maniacs and homeless people. All right, and more than likely, those YNs, man, they ain't got no job, man. They ain't got no form of, revenue coming in legally, so they probably out and about selling illegal narcotics. What else? Living out of the shopping cart, and the officer just doing his, quote unquote job investigating, had to square up with two of these YNs. Well, see, Trump is going to send backup, the National Guard, man. All right, and I did a video last night about these YNs, being destroyed for a lack of knowledge here at Planet Fitness, using the treadmill to pretend like they running down on their ops. Well, guess what? They gonna get a chance to put that to test, man, when these National Guards and these militaries and eventually martial law come rolling into their towns, man. All right, we gonna see what all that damn training on the treadmills, pretending like you in a shootout with your ops gonna do in this time. It says our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, robbing mobs of wild youth. Those are your YNs. Drugged out maniacs and homeless people, man. This is all Israelites, man. All right. Valley of the dry bones, man. This is what this is speaking of, man. This right here is the valley of dry bones, man. America, our people in this dead estate, man. Ezekiel 37. Can these bones live? That's what Ezekiel asks Yahweh. All right. Or should I say, Yahweh asks Ezekiel, if I'm not mistaken, and Ezekiel said, only you know, Lord. You see? So, hey, the 2/3 of our people, they ain't going to make it out of here, man. They're not going to make it out of the valley of the shadow of death, man, America. They ain't going to wake up to this truth. They're going to be dry bones all the way till the missiles come and disintegrate them. It says, drugged out maniacs and homeless people, and we're not going to let it happen anymore. That's from the song Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it anymore. We're not going to take it. Oh, we're not going to take it. We're not going to take it anymore. President Trump expressed that sentiment Monday. We ain't going to take it, man. All right, we tired of you. Dry bones, you hoodlums, you robbing and mobs, you maniacs. All right, see all these bywords and proverbs, that they calling us? Everything under the sun but the children of the Most High, man. And rightfully so, man, because you 2/3, man, the state that you in, you deserve to be called that, man, until you wake up out of it. All right, and sadly, a lot of our people won't wake up out of it until the missiles come, man. And we'll have to see them on the other side of the kingdom. It says the president is taking over the Metropolitan Police Department, MPD, via the District of Columbia Home Rule Acts Section 740. This is what he put into place on Monday. And I believe he have 2 days to get everything under control. Congress passed the act in the 1970s to give D.C. control over its local affairs. See, so now Donald Trump is taking him over the whole affairs of the police department now. All right. What is the Home Rule Act? The DC City Council states on its website that the Home Rule Act is the result of the ongoing push by district residents for control of their own local affairs. Okay. Let's jump down to this paragraph. In the wake of the passage of the Home Rule Act in 1973, D.C. District Capital, or Columbia, was allow a council and mayor, but Congress still reviews all legislation passed by the council before it can become law and retains authority over the district budget, even under the DC government established by the act. What is Section 740? 740 is a portion of the Home Rule Act. This is what Trump enacted. 740 of the Home Rule Act says that the states, if a president determined that special conditions of an emergency nature exist, so under whatever state, he can enact 740, where he gets to determine, as we're reading, the special conditions of an emergency nature exist. DC's mayor has to lend them such services of the Metropolitan Police Force as the president may deem necessary and appropriate. So even if they don't want to, under this Section 740, they have to give Trump the administration the necessary force to do whatever it is they want to do. And in this case, they want to get rid of you 2/3, man. All right. They want to get their city back under control. It goes on to read, a president cannot take over those powers for more than 48 hours unless, so he did it Monday, he asked until Wednesday. It says, unless amid that period, they give an explanation of their reasons to Congress. So he can go to Congress and say, man, things ain't getting any better. We need to go to the next level. We need to bring in military. It says there is also a limit of 30 days on these powers. So he has just about a month, all right, to do whatever it is he needs to do, even if Congress receives notification. See? So he has 30 days, all right? Once he puts into that complaint per se to Congress, he has 30 days to what? To use his powers, even if Congress receives a notification. It says, what has led to Trump's use of Section 740? So this is what caused him to use Section 740. Trump has again threatened to federalize D.C. in the wake of the alleged beating of a young man in an attempt carjacking in Washington 2 weekends ago. The man is Edward Corstein, who received attention earlier this year for being part of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency and for his nickname, Big Balls. All right. And you remember the other one that was gunned down. That was also, if I'm not mistaken, some type of Doge employee. Last week, Trump posted a message on social media featuring a photo of a bloody Corstein and the president's sentiments that crime in the nation's capital was totally out of control. However, Trump did not name Corstein in that post. Trump also said if D.C. doesn't get its act together and quickly, we will have no choice but to take federal control of the city and run this city how it should be run. So there you have it, man. Under this D.C. Section 740, what is it? 740 Home Rule Act. Trump has taken control, man. All right. And he's starting to speak like that dragon, man. That cruel Lord. Okay. Spoken of in Isaiah the 19th. All right. A cruel Lord shall rule over you, man. All right. Under his tyrannical dictatorship, he's enacting these laws, these rules to take over certain parts of the country, man. All right. That was deemed what? Not takeoverable, if that's even a word, but you get the gist of it. All right, because every state's supposed to be, given under its mayor and governor. All right, but now Trump, under these laws that he's doing his due diligence, as it says, 1 Peter 5:8, he walketh, not runneth, he walketh. So this administration is digging in these files and looking up ways and loopholes to go around taking over each state by state. All right, they did it in California. out there on the West Coast. Now they're here on the East Coast in D.C. doing it. Okay? Soon they come into the Midwest and down south, man, till they get every state that they need, all right, to get them under that tyrannical dictatorship. Okay? So this is where we at, man. So let's get a few precepts. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 68. It reads, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you." All right? See? And these are these armies, man. These militaristic style armies, okay? Eventually, they starting off with the National Guard. They go to the military, and then when all hell truly breaks out, it's going martial law, man. All right? When you're going to have foreign troops on domestic soil, okay? It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you." You see? That's what we saw in the first clip. All right? The officer trying to take away certain of you, those two-third YNs, man. Okay? And then the YNs tried to, resist, and what happened? One of them slammed the officer, and the other one was squaring up with the officer, and then what you would call bystanders, citizens arrest, they jumped out the cars and gave the officers a hand, man. All right? So, hey, man, it ain't funny. I mean, it's funny until it happened to you, man. You see, it's always funny till it comes to your town, man. Hey, that's why we tell you, man, do what's right by the Lord, and he gonna do what's right, man. He gonna keep you upright if you do what's right by the Lord. So it says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you." And we know this going into martial law, man. When this damn devil enacts martial law, all right, that insurrection act, all right, because he tried to do it in his first term, but he couldn't get to it. So he's coming back with it this time around, man. It says, "And feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols." Right? Here it is, you idle, you don't got no job, you got nothing else to do. You just trying to maintain, man. Okay, you out there on the streets trying to live, man. All right? Homeless. But he gonna come scoop a lot of you up, man. And then what? Feed you things offered into idols. That mark of the beast, that RFID microchip. You can't afford food. You can't afford nowhere to stay at. Here's the answer. Here's the microchip. All right. We're gonna put you in a nice housing facility. We're gonna give you food. We're gonna keep everything copacetic with you. All right. But we can't have you out on our streets vandalizing our law-abiding citizens. Okay. Those that are buying to the rules and regulations. We can't have you out there, as he said, man, scared to go to the store because of what? These hoodlums, these YNs, these good, God-fearing white people, so-called white people, can't even go to the store without you damn YNs. They got to clench their purse. They got to hit the beep beep on their cars. The stereotype. All right. Here it is. You are hard-working Jake yourself. See? But that's part of the curses, man. All right? We were going to be looked at as a byword and a proverb. So what happened? You a hard-working Jake. You doing, your 9 to 5 and everything else. But, hey, that damn eater might see you. They going to hit that beep, beep, that car alarm. Clench their purse. Walk the other way. Because why? That disdainment they got for us, man. From the beginning, that perpetual hatred, man. All right? And I don't blame them, man, for you 2/3, man. A lot of you 2/3, man. Hell, I try to avoid you and walk around the other way, man. All right? So I can only imagine they ass, man. Okay? They see a wild youth, as it said in the article, or a YN, which now has been coined young ninja, but really is young NIGGE, and the letter R. So they don't want anything to do with you, man. All right? They don't want you around them. They don't want you in their stores. Especially you goddamn so-called black woman, man. All right? Y'all the worst ones, man. Y'all loud and unbearable, man. Okay? But just our people in general, man. All right, this goes back to the curses, man. You will be a byword and a proverb, all right? And these damn devils, man, they fed up with you, man. Okay? You don't want to pay, you don't want to follow the rules, you see? And the Lord gave this man the charge over us for the time being. Okay? Romans 13. He does not bear the sword in vain. All right? If you disobey Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he'll send this devil after you, all right, with the sword, the modern day firearm, all right. And these officers, these police officers, they don't play, man. Those two YNs, they were lucky to get off with a damn taser, man, because that police was well within his rights to pull out his service pistol and let off a round or two on one. But he chose the honorable way and square up with the two YNs, the 2/3, man. That was a 2-on-1. All right. Which, hey, that might have not been a damn Edomite cop, man. Because that was an Edomite cop. He would have not pulled that damn yellow taser. He would have pulled this other service pistol and just took off on y'all ass, man. Especially after you slammed him on the ground too. So I might think that could have been a damn Jake as a police. Because only Jake gonna have compassion, man. Esau Edom, 2-on-1? Are you kidding me? And you slam me? Man, I'm finna take my service pistol out, man. See, but this cop chose to use discretion, and he used this taser. All right? But well within his rights, man. All right? Well within his immunity, his qualified immunity, to pull out that gun on your ass, man. And fear for his life. He's already been slammed, because who knows? You could have slammed him, and then the other guy could have came around and reached for the officer's service pistol and used it on him. And then what has he got to tell for his loved ones? Well, I just wanted to use my taser gun, so I didn't want to, unalive two young African-American males, and here it is, the officer family is getting a folded flag, man. No, man, that officer was well within his rights to use that damn firearm, man. But he used discretion, man, which has me to believe that was an Israelite, all right, a Jake officer, showing compassion, man. All right. So it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, feed you, being idle, right? Because you ain't going to have no job. You ain't going to have anything, man. Can't you see what the damn devil is doing? He's taking away all your freedom, your so-called quote-unquote freedom, man. Your job, your car, your way of life, all right? He's stripping it from you bit by bit. He's taking away everything you thought you had to be independent, and he's going to have it to where you have to rely on him to be a dependent. And then he's going to feed you that idol, offer to idol, that mark of the beast, that microchip, okay? It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot, right? Because you're going to be their property at that time, man. See? You're going to be their property at that time. Once you take that idol, you belong to the state or to the country or wherever you are, that you take that microchip. You here in Florida, you belong to the state of Florida. You're going to have 666 in your barcode on the microchip, and whatever else numbers follow and precede that to show that that's you. And you're going to be awarded to the state and to the country, all right? In the new digital era prison, all right? And it's just going to get worse from there on out, man. You're going to no longer have any control over your body. Your thoughts, your mind, everything is going to belong and be awarded to the state, to this country, to this system. You're going to be part of the beast system. Okay? That's why Yahweh Shai told us, man, when you see the abomination desolation, writing in Daniel, let them that readeth flee. That was back in 70 AD when what? A uptake of Roman soldiers were in the Holy Land, and the people were coming at odds with them because they were being oppressed by what? Caesar's the taxes that was being unfairly brought upon the people, man. Tension started to rise, man. All right, and there's so much that a fluctuation of Roman soldiers were in the Holy Land, all right, Jerusalem, all right, which spawned on the Jewish wars, okay, which began the downfall of the Roman Empire till it was revived in today's time, all right, under Babylon the Great, America, all right. Well, guess what? Now he's back at it again. There's no new thing under the sun. Ecclesiastes 1:9, man. This man's empire is getting ready to fall, and before it gets ready to fall, he's trying to take down as many as he can, all right? Matthew, is that 24? Matthew 24:15, red letters, Yahushua speaking. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth it, let him understand. Then them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. See? So this is the prelude to what's getting ready to happen, man, because eventually you're going to see Gurger troops in parts of the country that may be where you at, all right? When all hell breaks loose, you're going to be like, well, what is these? I've never seen these type of officers before. Exactly, that's that great kindle, that multitude of wrath. These are troops you've never seen before, all right? This is all new to you. You've seen your regular, local, everyday police-wearing officer that approaches you and asks you, do you have your ID? Do you have your license and registration? You done seen them before. You know what they about, but you ain't seen this great wrath of multitude kindle that's getting ready to come, man. All right, and just like Yahushua warned our people back then, the scriptures apply to us today. This devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, okay? When you see these foreign troops on domestic soil, you gonna know what's up, man. Okay, this is when we have to let the Holy Spirit lead us, man. All right, this is where we have to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, man. Okay, this is where it might not be wise to go back to our houses, as it says, let him that's in the field not come back. Okay. As we're going to read, it says, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Right. See, you got to be ready to be as a pilgrim in them days, man. Your city, your neighborhood, your town, your state may be under heavy siege, man, by these Gurger troops. And it might not be feasible or plausible for you to get back to your house, man. But I need to go in there and get my PlayStation 5 so I can take it over to my cousin's house and I can ride it out over there. Okay. Risk that and go and go over there and get your PS5 and see if they don't scoop your ass up and take you into one of them detention centers and feed you, being idle, things offered unto idols. Okay. It says, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. But man, I'm out here in my work clothes, man. I'm out here, way across town, and I ain't got nothing but my service clothes on. I need to get back home, take a shower, and put me some good walking, running type of outfit, clothing, socks, shirt, shorts, and shoes on. No, man. You get that alert across your phone, your town, your state, your neighborhood, so on and so forth, has now been taken over and seized and given control to this great kindling, this multitude of kindling wrath, hey man, forget it. Forget what you thought you was gonna have on you when all hell breaks loose. See, this is why we tell you, you can't plan for what's coming, man. You don't know where you're gonna be when all hell breaks loose. You might not be at home when you get the breaking news. And you can just pick up a few things, get your Bible, get your food, your water, and your gas, put it in the car and leave. You might not have that. All right? See, this is where faith is going to take over and kick in. All right? This is when the works that we've been doing is going to pay off if we of that elect, if we of that number, the elect. All right? This is when Yahweh Shah is going to guide us and lead us, man. It says, neither 18, let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. All right? And woe to them that are with child, you women, and to them that give suck in those days. Right? Especially if you ain't got no man of the Lord in your life. An elect man, if you out there on your own, you a single mom, you got a child, one on the way, because you an independent, bad woman, career woman, you had a one night, now you pregnant and you got a career, you think you're going to be able to somehow manage being a mom and a career-driven woman. You got your child at daycare. I got to get back to my child in daycare. Well, we know where you going at, because they're going to commandeer that daycare if it's in one of the neighborhoods. And what you going to do? For the most part, some of the women, a very small percentage, still have that maternal DNA in them. So even though they're career driven, they may go back to try to get their child out of daycare. And what's going to happen? That great killing the ref going to scoop their ass up, both of them, take them down into them detention centers and feed them idol, and feed them things offered unto idol. All right? Because you ain't going to be able to work on this man's system without taking that mark of the beast, man. All right? So you just going to be idle. All right? Eventually, he gonna wait you out, man. Okay? It's only so long your canned goods that you got stored up is going to keep you good. It's only so long you're going to use them canned goods, man. A week, maybe tops. A week and a half. Then what happened? You're going to be idle. You see? You're going to come down there and look to get that chip. All right? It says, but pray ye that your flight be not in winter. See? Pray you don't got to leave wherever you at during the winter time, man. Because if you gotta leave, whether it's a literal flight like an airplane, or whether you got to take off, and especially if you up north where it's cold, man, you trying to make it somewhere down south, you may have a car or whatever, and you got to leave in the wintertime, you got to leave, depart, take flight, leave. Hey, man, it's going to be hard for you to navigate the terrains during the winter, man. I ain't never per se been in snow like that before, but I've seen cold weather, and I can only imagine how it is up north, man. Icy roads, mushy ice, dirt ice, black ice, all that, man. It's going to be hard, man, especially if you got a family. That's just another variable you got to put into play. It says, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. See? So we don't know when it's going to happen, man. All right? But we got to pray that what? We are of the elect, and in that time that the Lord is dealing with us. All right? Because this is when the Lord is going to deal intimately with his men. Okay? Those that are crying and sighing for the abomination. All right? Those that have been marked with the spiritual mark. Ezekiel 9. Right around verse 4. All right? See, we being marked with the spiritual mark of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But you 2/3, you wild youth, you YNs, y'all going to be marked with the cardinal mark of Esau Edom, which is the RFID microchip. Revelation 13 and 16. two different marks, okay? One is the Hebrew and one is the Greek, all right? Got to know the difference. It says, for then shall great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of the world, not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, never shall be. Right. See, this is Jacob's trouble we speaking on, man. This is what's getting ready to go down, man. All right. We on the outskirts of Jacob's trouble looking in, but now we moving into it. All right. And we warning you, these are your last warnings you're going to get from the servants, the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Because why? He's getting ready to reel in his word, man. All right. We're warning you this one last time. It says, and except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. See, the shit we getting ready to go through, hey, it's going to make a grown man cry, man. All right. It's going to make a grown man cry. So how much more you less of a man? You women, you children. All right. Y'all are going to be, man. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. See? So for the elect's sake, man, once that mark of the beast, RFID microchip is made mandatory, we ain't gonna have too much more time, or we ain't gonna have too much more longer after that, man. This man ain't gonna be able to get off his whole sickening plot and plan that he wanna do, just up until the point where he can make mandatory this microchip, this RFID microchip. And then after that, the missiles come to destroy the United States of America. And in the midst of that happening, Yahweh Shai and the host of army, the heaven, returns and deliver its elect out of Babylon the Great, the United States of America, and elsewhere, but primarily here in the United States of America, man. All right? So the stage is being set. Whatever this devil needs to do to bring forth chaos, he's going to use it, man. All right? So we've been telling you, we warning you, man, that cruel Lord, Isaiah 19. He ain't playing, man. All right? If this is his way of getting ready to get the people to forget about him potentially being on the Epstein list to cause chaos, let it be, man. Okay? Let it be. If he got to enact the Insurrection Act and bring forth all hell to get you to stop worrying about whether or not he's on the Epstein list or not, so be it, man. Okay? He's going to get his. All right? Because they all wicked, man. All these damn Edomites. You don't think other Edomites do the same thing? Of course. Okay? It's just that he's the president and the people look up to him. All right? And they want him to be brought to service. I mean, they want him to be brought to justice. But guess what? He, and along with the rest of the Edomites, are going to be brought into justice in you other nations as well, man. When y'all ass go into slavery, man, because nobody escapes judgment from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right? So this is Isaiah 19 in verse 1 second. Four. It says, in the Egyptians, which is you modern day Americans, in the Egyptians will I give over unto the hand of a cruel Lord. And it's adding up to look like this president, Donald J. Trump, is filling this prophecy, is fulfilling this prophecy as being the cruel Lord. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Right. So, hey, man, for way too long, you YNs have been getting away with, quote unquote, the proverbial saying, get away with, murder. All right. You've been vandalizing stores. You see, You've been vandalizing the elderly, you know. And now, man, hey, this man is deployed National Guards here in D.C., or should I say, they're in D.C. And in 2 days, if does need, he can put in, a request for the U.S. military to Congress. Okay, so let's see. All right, because this ain't over with, man. Either he got to keep your mind occupied on other things, or he got to address that Epstein list. Okay, it's one of the two, man. And if his name is on that Epstein list indeed, and he can't get around it, man, he got to do whatever it is to make people not want to think about that Epstein list anymore. All right, so hey, the hell with it, man. Get it started, man. Hey, if he got to shut the power grid down to get people to stop talking about it, if this don't work, hey, more power to him, man. All right, because at the end of the day, it's the Lord that's doing this, man. It's the Lord that's doing this. He's the one that's turning the hearts of the kings whithersoever he will, like the running river. All right, as it says in Proverbs 26. Salaki, Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. See, this is all the will of the Heavenly Father, man. He's the one that's working on the minds of these kings, these presidents, these elites, everyone. Okay, this is the will of the Heavenly Father, man. You know, if he put that fear of doubt on the Trump, that his name could be on the Epstein file, and although he's done his best to redact his name as best as he can, the Most High put that fear of doubt on him, where he's like, man, I gotta go ahead and pull the plug on this economy, man. All right, or whatever. Hey, we all for it, man, because we can't get up out of this place soon enough, man. All right, we tired of this, man. All right, we tired of the oppression. Right, we tired of having to struggle and fight just to stay afloat, and it ain't gonna get any better, man. That's the worst thing about it, man. It ain't gonna get any better. Prices aren't gonna go back down to where they were 10, 20, 30 years ago, when you can get an apartment for less than $600, $700. But the cost of living is going up, but the wages ain't going up to meet that cost of living. It ain't gonna get any worse, or slacky, it ain't gonna get any better. It's only gonna get worse. All right? So just think how much more homeless people you're going to have. Just think how much more gang violence you're going to have. Just think about how much more vandalism you're going to have. All right? When they can't afford rent. All right? So, of course, he's going to enact 740 House Rule Act. All right? Until where he just goes ahead and just enact the Insurrection Act. All right? So we've been warning you and telling you, man, get right. All right? Because these damn Edomites, as the song goes by Twisted Sister, we're not going to take it anymore. They tired of you 2/3, man. All right? They're going to use you as they've been using the Northern Kingdom. They're going to use the Southern Kingdom. We told you it wasn't over with. All right? See, you 2/3, you thought, hey, man, that's Issachar. Nah, man, we lumped in together, man. This is the land where we were taken to, where we supposed to wake up. All 12 tribes are here to fulfill that prophecy. Hosea 1 and 10. But see, only that small remnant from all 12 tribes are going to wake up to the truth right before the end comes. Okay? The rest, the 2/3, they just going to have to get it in the kingdom, man. All right? They're just going to have to get it in the kingdom. Okay? Because their time here on this side is just about up, man. To be, Trump said, a wild youth, man. The wild man calling our people the wild youth, man. Matter of fact, let's get that. All right? Be a byword and a proverb. It's got to be in Deuteronomy. This is under the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment. Damn, Trump said, you wild youth, man. That's basically him calling you a YN, man. Oh man, that shit cracked me up, man. Trump calls you ninjas a wild youth, man. The damn wild man of the woods calling our people a wild youth, man. And it fits the bill to a T, man. You damn wild YNs, man. And thou should become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither Yahweh shall lead thee. You can't tell us we ain't the people, man. We fit these curses to the T, man. All right? Damn, hey, these damn other nations, man. You walk into a Moab restaurant or his hair beauty supply, and he watching you until the time you leave in your car and crank up and get on the street. He watching your ass, man. All right, he got a camera outside his establishment. He got one camera inside his establishment. He got one on every aisle, and he got one behind the cash register, man. All right, you go into one of these Arab stores, they watching you, man. All right, because why? The stigma, all right, of being a black person. See, this is why they gave you the title black, because the stigma that comes alongside with being black. You know, dirty, wicked, evil. So if you black, somebody gonna watch you. They don't want you dirtying up their establishment, man. All right, and now Trump don't want y'all ass in his damn capital no more. All right, he don't want you black people in his damn his state capital mucking it up the place, man. So now he's going to deploy, or he's already deployed, National Guards, and if needed, he's going to come down with the military. All right. So Deuteronomy 28 and 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither, meaning where, Yahweh shall lead thee. See? And this is culminating with Hosea 1 and 10, where it says, in the land of thy captivity, where you were called what? Let's get it. This is Hosea chapter 1 and 10. It says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. See, so that already gives credence to those that say that they the children of Israel, saying that it was this amount of people that died in the Holocaust. I said it like that for a specific reason. Gives you a clear sign that they're not the people, because you're not supposed to be able to number, saying it was 6 million people died in the Holocaust. That goes to tell you that they're not the people, because it says right here, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, you are byword, a proverb, an astonishment. It says, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. This is where we woke up here in America. This is where them dry bones began to come alive. When Ezekiel said, only you know, Lord. When Yahweh, if I'm not mistaken, asked Ezekiel if they can live. And Ezekiel said, only you know, Lord. Well, the Lord knew, okay, that only the elect on this side will wake up to this truth and live. The rest would have to be what? Destroyed and come back in the kingdom. All right, so this is that land, our captivity, where all 12 tribes will come to wake up to who they are, or to be destroyed to who they aren't, okay? So guess what? Either you wake up to the truth in time to avoid being destroyed by the thermonuclear missiles, or you stay asleep to get the judgment that's coming to a 2/3 and heathen, and then come back into the kingdom, okay? So we here, man, all right? We right on the outskirts. We can feel the residual heat of Jacob's trouble, but we getting ready to go into it. That's why these warnings are coming out greater regularity, because the great wrath is getting ready to come, man. Revelation 12:12. He's getting ready to come down with great wrath, man. So the Lord is sending out his servants, the prophets, one last time to warn you that these damn devils not going to take it, man, before they start coming down, man, because that, I got to reiterate, that was a quote-unquote close to honorable thing that officer could have showed sympathy by hitting that YN or wild youth with a taser instead of a hollow point or whatever type of ammo officers use, man. All right? Because we getting ready to come into it where these Gurgha troops, these UN, these martial laws, they ain't going to have that compassion. Because why? They don't have a dog in the fight, man. They not American. They don't sympathize for the American cause. They don't care about you YNs, you wild youths. To them, they going to get probably incentivized for how many people or how many Israelites that they can unalive, man. All right? So the sympathy of having someone show you compassion by not taking your life is getting ready to come to an end once Jacob's trouble come. All right? That perpetual hatred that Esau has always had since the beginning is going to show up, man. All right? And it's already showing up, but it's going to show up to the extent where you can no longer deny it, man. All right? And you're going to see him, man. You finna see it shortly in a little while, this man get loose. All right? As that song by Boozy, Drunk Off in the Club, Don't Get Me Started. All right? This damn man finna get drunk on power. He already drunk, but now he finna cut loose on your ass, Jake. All right? So you been warned. Let's go ahead and finish up and close out with 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant. See, you can't say that you didn't know what's going on, because why? The Lord has set up his servants, the prophets, in these last days to keep you focused on prophecy and in turn being sober and vigilant. All right? The only way you won't be able to be sober and vigilant is if you what? You drunk off of philosophy, off of wine, off of ideologies, off of other principles outside of the Bible. It says why? Because your adversary, the devil, that's that great kindle, that great multitude of wrath kindle, all right, as a roaring lion, walketh about, not running, walking. Why? Because he's doing his due diligence. He's putting all these laws and legislations on the books, so when they come to pass and all hell breaks loose, he'll be reasonably justified and unaliving you. All right. He's already got acts on the law that he can engage people with live ammunition under Executive Order 5240.1, if I'm not mistaken, DOD Executive 5240.1. He can engage U.S. citizens with live ammo. All right. That time is coming, man. This was not one of them, but it could have been. But once these Gurgha troops, once these UN, United Nations, soldiers from other parts of the world show up in uniform, because they are already here. They came here back when Biden was letting all them so-called quote-unquote immigrants come through the border. All right, you had Ham, you had Moab, you had a lot of more nations come up there too. It wasn't just Issachar. It wasn't just the Northern Kingdom. You had other nations as well. Well, guess what? They hid off somewhere, getting their last little bit of briefing and training before they get ready to engage with the people, man. All right, in their true calling. All right, as what? That great kindle wrath. So we telling you to be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, and feed you things offered unto idols. All right. Once you get that mark of the beast, that RFID microchip, guess what? You belong to him. He's gonna trot in you on the feet. You're his property. He can do with you what he will. You his property. All right. So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson, and until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith, We almost home. Shalom. Peace.